Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Explainer. Oh man, I am absolutely pumped for our journey today. Like if you're ready for some super bouncy, high-energy fun, you are exactly in the right spot. Today, we're diving into this classic, totally wacky poem that might just, flip everything you thought you knew about growing up completely upside down. So, let's just jump right in.
First up, warm-up time. Can older people be playful or silly? Why or why not? Okay, so I want you to picture your grandparents or maybe that older neighbor down the street with the head full of white hair. Think about it. Do you think once you hit a certain age, some giant invisible switch flips and suddenly you just have to be super serious, sit perfectly still and, read the newspaper all day? Are goofy faces and jumping in mud puddles strictly against the rules? Just lock your answer in your head right now as we get ready to meet today's absolute star.
All right, Section 1, Meet Father William.
So, we're looking at a famously hilarious poem written by Lewis Carroll. And hey, he's the exact same genius who wrote Alice in Wonderland, so you just know things are about to get weird and wonderful. Our poem features two completely opposite characters, and they're having a really strange conversation. On the right, we've got this young guy in a green overall suit holding a pitchfork. Look at him. He looks completely bewildered, doesn't he? He's just staring at his dad, Father William. And what exactly is Father William doing? Well, this older gentleman, with his bright blue shirt, big red sash, and all that fluffy white hair, is literally doing a perfect upside-down headstand right in the middle of a hayfield. I mean, imagine looking out your window and seeing your grandpa doing this in the yard. No way, right?
Now, to totally get this joke, we gotta learn a really special giant vocabulary word. The word is incessantly. Can you say that out loud with me? Incessantly. It basically means doing something constantly, over and over, without stopping. It's like if a dog barks all night long without even taking a breath, it's barking incessantly. And in our poem, Father William isn't just doing one single headstand. Oh no, he is spinning onto his head incessantly.
So the young guy just can't take it anymore. Let's do a super serious, stressed out voice for him. Ready? He crosses his arms, huffs, and goes, "You are old, Father William," the young man said, "and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right?" He is just so stressed out. He sees his dad's white hair and thinks, "Come on, Dad, you're way too old for this. You should be resting in a rocking chair, not tumbling around in the hay."
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, the no-brainer answer.
How in the world is Father William going to defend these wild acrobatic moves? Like, is he going to apologize? Is he going to say it's his wild new workout routine? Get ready, because the punchline here is absolutely cartoonish in the best way possible. Picture a raspy, zany, completely carefree grandpa voice as Father William fires back to his worried son, while he's still balancing on his head, by the way. He says, "In my youth," Father William replied to his son, "I feared it might injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again." Wait, did you catch that? He's literally saying that when he was young, he was terrified that standing on his head would scramble his brain. But now that he's old, he's realized he doesn't even have a brain to injure anyway. So boom, he just keeps doing it. It is the most absurd, silly, hyper-literal joke ever. He's basically calling himself a total goofball with no brain, and he is 100% proud of it. Let's actually put these two side by side, because that contrast is exactly what makes this whole thing so funny. On side A, we've got the young man. He's young, obviously, but he acts incredibly old. He's super stressed out, he worries about the rules, he worries about age, and he's totally convinced headstands are going to injure the brain. Then on side B, we have good old Father William. He's older, sure, but he acts like a total kid. He's carefree, he couldn't care less about his age or his white hair, and he gleefully jokes that he has no brain to injure in the first place. So the young guy is actually the boring one, and the old guy is the life of the party.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3. Age is just a number.
This whole hilarious interaction actually brings us to our value pick for today. The core lesson we can learn from this incredibly fun poem is this: age is just a number. You see, Lewis Carroll wasn't just trying to make us giggle, though he for sure did that. He hid a really wonderful secret right there in the hayfield with Father William. Getting older, getting some wrinkles, or having your hair turn completely white absolutely should not stop anyone from having fun. You don't just lose your right to be silly, to play games, or to do wild headstands just because you've had a lot of birthdays. Father William proves that the fun, bouncy joy inside of us, it doesn't have an expiration date.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. But hey,
I want to leave you with one final super important mission. What silly thing will you do when you have white hair? Seriously, think about yourself way in the future. Will you be riding a skateboard at 80 years old? Will you be having epic water balloon fights when you're 90? Cartwheels in the grocery store aisle? Whatever it is, never let go of that fun, silly energy, no matter how many candles are on your cake. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Keep being wonderfully goofy, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.